When?
Alright. You have to do the thing.
Is the timer going off?
Yes, honey.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, we're joined by the most fragile of Manxes, Amanda Palmer. And he makes all of your toads slidey, Mr. Jason Webley.
What, you what?
I fly thee the toads.
Makes my toads slidey? Are we jabberwockying?
We're jabberwocking.
We should do the whole interview in jabberwocky.
Please do.
No one would understand it except for the nerds out there who actually speak jabberwocky. Or from Cornbread.
No.
It's really good.
Thank you.
That's not. I don't understand a word you're saying. That's not jabberwock.
It's bullshit!
Question.
All right, so question number 1. Amanda, you talk a lot about, well, to young artists about not having a plan B if they want to succeed.
Yes, I do.
So, what do you think your life would be like if you had ever had a plan B?
It wouldn't be this. My assumption is, had I had a real plan B, I'd be doing plan B.
And what do you think that plan B would have been?
I came really close to having a plan B when I was in college of being a massage therapist.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about going to school. Because I was like, well, I'm not, I love it. It's not my first passion, but I would love doing it. And I'm good at it. And I know I can make a living at it. And I know that there is a, strict path that I can follow to do it. And I thought about doing that.
Oh. Well, what kept you?
I even gave massages in college for money. That was my college job.
Oh.
Real massages, not happy ending massages. I mean, they were happy, but not in there was no release in my massages.
At least none that you knew of.
That has happened. Well, that's a different topic.
Question.
Question.
Fuck plan B, she said.
I always recommend having a plan B. But
Jason doesn't know what he's talking about.
my music career was my plan B. I was originally going to be an assassin.
Bust the gun.
Anyway.
Question.
So you're both pretty fearless performers when you're up on stage, so... Well, I was asking, I wanted to ask,
everything.
Well, then, what's the most scared shitless you've ever been?
On stage or in life?
In life.
Oh, God. The most scared shitless I've ever been. No one's ever asked me that.
It's hard because I feel like when you're really scared, like something shifts in your brain.
And you black out.
And you, like, I can think of times when I've been in situations that kind of like really jerked me out of like my reality. I was like, oh my God, this is insane. Like when I was in 10th grade or something, I went and hung out with this friend of mine who just graduated. He was kind of a punk, but he's living with all these skinheads that some of whom were like my arch nemesis in high school, and I was like, I'm a big kid. I can handle like hanging out in this room, and he quickly like disappeared into his bedroom with his ex-girlfriend and locked the door, and I ended up out in the living room with like all these skinheads between the ages of like 15 and 60, and they were all on acid and unloading and loading semi-automatic weapons and watching Arnold Schwarzenegger, and at some point fear.
Your mayor.
Yeah. Anyway.
Governor, whatever he is.
He's on my diploma.
But about a year later, I realized that should have been the scaredest I ever was in my life.
Yeah, scared is often totally random. I still think. I mean, I've come close to death in a lot of really like. This like the other day, I was jogging in. Where's Eric's house? Portland. And I went for a jog. It was kind of rainy. And there was this giant, like 2 or 3 lane, not highway, but massive, like cars going 60 miles an hour road outside Eric's house. And I jogged across half of it. There was a little turning lane that I stopped in, and there was a car going like 60 miles an hour that cut in front of me, and it occurred to me in that 5 seconds that had I skidded because the street was wet, I would have been dead. And moments like that happen a lot, like close to death moments happen to me a lot. And because I move a lot and I'm in action all the time, and those moments don't scare me as much as they used to. I just let them come and go, you know.
Today my hat fell off a cliff and
That's
I had to
scary.
climb down the cliff to get it, and everyone, I wouldn't have been too scared except for Zaya and Eric and everyone, they were all really freaked out about it, and at some point that kind of sank in. I was like, oh, yeah,
If I fall, I die.
Well, I won't die, but it'll suck. It'll suck for parts of me. And I could die, but...
Yeah, fuck fear. Question.
Question. Okay, so Amanda, I know you've talked about living without a plan, and I wanted to know, is there a point when so many things that happen kind of beyond your wildest dreams, does dreaming for the future stop?
So
Yeah. Actually. I mean, I have a serious answer to that question, which is, I spent a lot of my life, basically up until the point that the Dresden Dolls got really kind of famous, I was fantasizing about that because it was the dream. Like, it was my childhood dream, and then it happened. And then I didn't have a dream anymore because I realized it. And I think that can really freak people out, because then you get there, and once you get there, you know, you don't have that thing charging you and motivating you and giving you some unknown fantasy to shoot for. So, but luckily, I think I was lucky because it didn't happen overnight. It happened over the course of years. You know, it's not like I woke up one day and was like, oh my god, my dream came true, oh, what do I do? Oh, now my life is fucking meaningless and empty. And I can honestly say right now, I don't have a fantasy of what might happen. I have a fantasy about what the quality of my life will be, you know? And I know I'm a lot closer than I used to be to knowing what it is that will actually make me, you know, so-called happy. But that's different. It's different from having this thing, you know, this like 13-year-old dream in your head of being a star or being famous or being known for your music or your art or whatever it is that people have, if that makes sense. Do you have plans?
Do I have plans?
I'm curious about you because your questions are so plan-centric. Are you at a crossroads in your life or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I can tell.
Jason, do you have any comments to make on this one?
I forgot.
This is not my interview.
I forgot the question. I mean, there were two questions. One about you shouldn't have a plan. Should you have a plan B or not? And then another one is should you have a plan at all or not? Right?
No, you weren't really asking should you have a plan, right?
No, I was just asking about your
What
thoughts on
happens
that.
when your plan comes true? Is
Yeah,
that what you're
exactly.
asking?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, you're fucked.
No, I mean, I think that most good plans can never come true.
That's a very Jason Webley answer.
I mean, you know, like my
He's
plan. I mean, I don't know exactly. I don't have concrete plans. I didn't dream about like, oh, I'm gonna be a musician and I'm gonna have people listen to me and you know, and I'll have this certain amount of notoriety and at that point I'll feel like I've achieved my goal. It's all been kind of a little bit of a blind groping and.
Jason stumbled into his life a lot more than I did. I was very, very, very specific about my fantasy, and Jason took a roundabout way.
But it was
to
also
get me
kind of
somewhere
specific because I mean, it's something that I definitely wanted. I just didn't. It's not like I put all my eggs in this basket and was like, oh God, please let this happen. In my case, it was more, you know, when I was younger, I did want people to recognize me as a songwriter and be a musician, and I kind of shyly would put it out there a little bit, and there wasn't a lot of response, and so I, kind of backed away from that, and later when I started playing on the street and people actually did start responding to it, it was kind of like, oh, that's neat. 1 minute left.
1 minute left. I guess the last question I should ask is, in a similar vein, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or does that even happen?
I don't want to grow up. I think that sounds terrible.
I
hate grown-ups. Everyone I meet who actually considers themselves grown up, they're usually terrible people. Really.
I want to be an old man.
Yeah, but Jason has wanted to be an old man since he was a little boy.
a really
I think
really
your dream's
old
gonna
man.
come true.
I keep ruining my plans. I really want a Gandalf beard.
You can work on it.
Yeah.
You can grow that. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a writer.
A writer?
Uh-huh.
You want to be a